Now we have Jost from Lufthansa. Jost is going to share with us how airlines can evolve into dynamic, customer-centric retailers. There he is. Good to see you.
All right. Thanks for having me. I will share a little bit on the approach of how Lufthansa Group is moving this transformation, which is a quite interesting one for Lufthansa Group. And I want to share a little bit how an airline can approach it from different perspectives. So maybe if the presentation comes up. Anyway, what I would like to do is show a little bit of how you could get this transformation started in your company. And it doesn't matter whether it's a first-tier airline, second-tier airline, third-tier airline, whatever you are in the ecosystem, you need to get this transformation started. And I would highlight a little bit of how you, with your organization, could this transformation started. And first of all, it's important to understand where are we coming from. So we have a few hundred people in the industry that have understood what this transformation is about. So they really know all the details, and I'm quite happy that a lot of the people are sitting here today, but we have a lot of other people in the ecosystem, not only within the airlines, but with the IT providers, with the wider ecosystem that have barely heard about this transformation. It's important that we engage with all of them so that they understand what this is about. And actually what this is about is, you see on the left side, basically the core of an airline today. And again, this is an airline anywhere in the world. Most of the airlines in the world operate, as you see it on the left-hand side. We invented e-commerce long before the internet. So airlines in the 1960s, 1970s invented basically e-commerce with a very smart approach to distribute a product that is perishable in a very efficient way around the world. It's great news. Downside though, we use exactly the same processes and a lot of the technology still today. So we have centered all our organizations, our processes, also our mindset around, we have static fares that we distribute, we have a distribution chain built around it, we have a dual process with availabilities, filed fares then. We have really built our IT systems centered around the thing that we call check-in, a very operational thing that happens trillion times every day with logistics providers. We have invented something like a check-in process around in our delivery systems, very centered around this key element of what we have built in the 1960s. When you ask a customer whether we are digital, I would say a lot of customers, at least in the happy flow, if there's no flight cancellation or something like this, would be quite happy. You get a nice mobile boarding card on your device with a barcode, you can scan it, and it looks super digital. What you don't see is that behind the scene, we still operate systems that are quite outdated based on EDIFACT messages. It's telex messages that we send around all the day. And also, when you hit your executive board levels, they only see the nice barcodes on the mobile phone. So when they have to duty trips, their assistant officers will take care of the travels. If there's flight cancellation, again, their assistant officers will take care of the magic behind the scene to rebook them, so they don't have to deal with what is behind the scenes. So first is that you understand what is behind the scenes, and this is really the left side. Everything built and centered around technology from the 1960s. So this is exactly what we want to change. We do not want to change this because we have too much money or we like technology so much. We really have to change it because we are not able easily to fulfill the needs of our customers anymore. So customers are trained day by day from experiences from the Amazons, the Netflix, the Ubers of the world. Smooth customer experience. Everything in one hand. And this is exactly what customers demand from us in the travel industry as well. And I could explain to them, yeah, you know, we have PNRs, we have tickets, maybe we have different systems, maybe a partner that you want to fly with, we don't have an interline agreement with. All these things the customer doesn't care about. He says, I'm used to other experiences, and that's what I want to see from travel as well. And that's exactly why we want to change. So where we want to move is the personalization of offers, obviously, and we heard a lot of presentations earlier today, also how AI will help us here to move into personalized offers. But I think it's more than this. it's really streamlining the entire process for the customer. So putting customer first and thinking about what the customer wants. And I was emphasizing the check-in process, for example. I doubt that there's any customer in the world that is willing to spend €1 extra to have a fancy check-in process. There is no need to have a check-in process at all. There are some things that you want to do. And from an airline perspective, check-in is also a nice thing where you can get into personal interaction with the customer, maybe offer some upsell, doing some things. But from a process standpoint, the idea of check-in should be rethought. And this is exactly what we do at Lufthansa Group, putting the customer first, thinking what is really the need of a customer in today's world, and then deriving from there what are the things that we have to do to implement offers and orders. And this is a key thing you have to do. Get an idea of what you want to do. So I know there are several airlines that have started the transformation independently of size, independently of location. It's great news. So today, we see a lot of implementations, a lot of airlines around the world that have made their announcements how to move forward. What you should do is doing a three-step approach to get your organization on this way. First of all, is really understand where you're coming from. So this was what I was talking about a minute ago. So really understand what is your need from your organizational standpoint, what is the need of your customers. Because some of the needs of customers are the same for us, depending on the business model, however, and the location, there might be slightly different needs of customers. So you need to understand what is the needs of your customers and your particular organization. You need to secure management buy-in, key critical aspect. If you want to drive this kind of transformation, you need to have the support of your C-suite. There's no other way if you could spend millions and millions in going a quite risky road, which airlines don't like, to change your backbone and move into a completely new system. So management support is very critical. And then third, this is nothing that an airline can do on their own. Even bigger airlines and airlines the size of Lufthansa Group are not able to do this on their own. So you need to partner up. And there's a lot of partners that you can find. It's your IT provider, obviously, it's an important partner, but also your interline partners, your travel chain, the OTAs, all those partners need to be hooked up to this transformation. So it's important that you engage with the industry. And then also to emphasize, and it was also mentioned earlier today already in some presentations, there's industry standards. It's very critical that a lot of the things that we are building here is based on industry standards. However, these industry standards don't come from the heaven. They need to be elaborated on. So you need to engage with the respective bodies, mostly IATA, to work on these standards according to your needs. So if you want to design a system according to your particular needs, join also IATA to work on the industry standards. Very critical that we jointly can move this transformation forward. And if you have worked on the three pillars, I think then you're on good track to kickstart the transformation in your organization. Ecosystem still remains, even after the start, then a very important component of your transformation. So also for Lufthansa Group, we are heavily connected in the world. So we have way more than 100 interline partners all around the world. We have joint venture partners that we closely work together. We have a lot of stations all around the world, even fancy stations where we only fly like once a week and only seasonally. All those partners, ground tending partners at these stations as well, need to join this transformation. At some point, also at such kind of airport, for example, you need to ensure that your delivery system is running over there. How do you ensure that the people all around are trained for this transformation? And sometimes we tend to forget about this wider ecosystem. So it's important that we always keep ourselves reminding the ecosystem is there and we need to do this together. This is, by the way, one of the key learnings we had from NDC. The ones that remember when we started NDC around 15, it was purely the airlines. It's like, hey, we do this transformation and we push NDC forward. We missed a little bit to engage with the trade early on. And for this transformation, together with other industry partners, we realized we don't want to repeat this mistake again. We want to do it early on, together with the ecosystem, with the trade partners, with the OTAs, but also the ones that normally are behind the scenes, ground handlers, airports, catering providers. Everyone who is in this ecosystem, in the value chain for an airline, needs to be considered here. This is important. Technology provider, obviously. There will be anchor technology providers for each of you. So we have heard a lot about modularity, and there's a lot of components: offer, order, accounting, delivery. These are the 4 major pillars which will open the door for modularity. But in any case, for all those components, you will obviously find anchor providers, and this is important. So partner up with your IT provider to define the roadmap. What is possible when? What is a realistic target? We all have ambitions, and was mentioned also earlier on in different presentations, it's good to think about what will come with AI and new technology. For this transformation, also for your top management, it's important what happens there, what are the low-hanging fruits, what's the key values that you can drive early on. And there's something you can drive together with a technology provider. Identify a roadmap, a realistic roadmap for this transformation. Once you start really shifting around from existing legacy technology, you see all the pain points and the fun, and therefore you need to do this hand in hand with your tech provider to identify what is a realistic roadmap to move forward. So this is really key. And we got the impression in the early days when we started this transformation that some of the elements were less considered in the talks we had, and that's why I want to put an emphasis on this one. Modern airline retailing is about the entire ecosystem. It's really key. So how are we addressing these topics at Lufthansa Group? So already 3 years ago, we started a major transformation program, and we called it on purpose core, because we are changing the core of our business. So we are changing not only a little bit of IT, it's not an IT program, it's a transformation program. We are changing a lot of our processes. We are changing, obviously, a lot of our IT. We also change our organization and our mindset. So this is really important, and that's why we gave this very clear name to the program. We are changing the core of the passenger airlines within Lufthansa Group. We totally believe into this transformation. We believe into the ecosystem perspective. We said from the very first day, we have some power, but we are definitely not able to drive this transformation on our own with our 9 airline brands that we have. So we need to partner up, and that's why we pushed IATA to found a consortium. And we are a founding member of this consortium of those airlines that are willing to accelerate the transformation. IATA is there anyway. Standard development is there anyway. The consortium is there to support the industry and to accelerate the development. I remember a statement from one of the IT providers right after COVID, I think, on stage on a conference, said, if we look into the timelines that we give ourselves here for a digital transformation, we are way too slow. We agree to this point. We have to face the reality of the things that we have to change. But we believe we should, wherever we can, accelerate things, partner up, do things together, gain synergies, and that's exactly why we founded the consortium with IATA and have, I would say, the heavyweights industry there moving forward, supporting us mutually to drive this transformation. And then the key target for Lufthansa Group is really 100% offers and orders. We are not building something on top. So we are not taking an order management system that will live on top of our PSS system or any EDIFACT-based systems, application, or processes. We are building an entire new stack. And this is the difficulty, because you need to run both systems in parallel for quite a while. But we got support from top management from the very first day that we are not building something on top. We are not wrapping a nice paper around old world, but we are building a completely new world. And this is exactly the goal that we have at Lufthansa Group, getting our entire process landscape legacy-free. And when I mean entire, it's the commercial processes. It's all what we call like above the wing, but there's a whole world happening below the wing as well. And there is a linkage between both worlds, and you need to ensure that also this linking point is working properly to ensure that all the operational aspects of running an airline are working in the future world of offers and orders, without PNRs, without tickets, without teletype messages. So we are on this transformation, and we hopefully doing our next step pretty soon to start with our IT provider that we want to select soon. The implementation of the big first piece, which is order management. What we done from the very beginning and what we are keep continuing is driving this together with a transformation. So we are ready for this transformation. I hope you got a little bit of idea how you could engage with your C-suite if you haven't done so far, to also engage your organization. Let it be an airline, let it be a ground handler, let it be a tech provider standing on the side a little bit. This is a little bit of recipe how you maybe could engage with your C-suite, with your organization to drive this transformation, because it's crystal clear this is for all of us. We all have to drive this transformation together. And with this one, to thank you for your audience.